Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to today's class. My name is Becky. I'm with Scott Leroy Marketing. And today we are going to be doing our command overview. Just a bit of a heads up, this is a lot of information in a very short amount of time. I will try to get done with class a couple minutes early so that we have time for questions. If you have questions as I go through, please go ahead and drop those in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer them in real time if possible, and otherwise I will save them for the end if I need to due to time. But I will absolutely get to your questions, so feel free to drop them as you have them throughout the class, and I will get to them whenever I can. If you do need to watch this back on replay, it will be on our YouTube channel within 24 hours. I did drop a link to our YouTube channel in the chat. And when you are on our YouTube channel, we always recommend that you scroll down to this videos section here, or you click the videos tab up here. Either way, but both of those are going to bring you to the most recent videos first. So you'll see the timestamp on here is 2 days ago. So these are our most recent videos. And so when this class is uploaded within 24 hours, you will see it right here. It is important to make sure you're paying attention to those dates, especially if you are searching. So I'm going to go ahead and just to show you, if I search command overview, once you scroll past the playlists, the first one that shows up is from 4 months ago. So command is always changing, as are the services that we offer here at Scott Leroy Marketing. And so you want to make sure you're finding those most recent videos first. So 4 months ago is not our most recent class. The 12 days ago would be our most recent class. But when you're just scrolling through, you just want to make sure you're paying attention to those dates and times, because otherwise when you try to do something in command, it may look a little different than our screen, or the feature could be updated. So we just want to make sure you have that most recent information. Again, the best way to do that is through the videos tab, but if you are searching, just make sure you're checking those timestamps. So we're going to go ahead and go to command, which is agent.kw.com. And we are going to sign in with our, that's right, hold on just a second. We're going to sign in with our command logins. There we go. Sorry about that. If you don't know your password, you can click forgot password and it will send an email over to your recovery email on file, which is generally going to be your personal email, and it will not be a Keller Williams email due to their updates for security, so that you're not locked out of everything at once. They just want to make sure that it is as easy for you to recover your account as possible. So when you are logging in, the username is not case sensitive. If you wanted to make it all caps or all lowercase, it does not really matter this part. Your password is case sensitive, and if you are copying and pasting from somewhere, you just want to make sure that you are grabbing all the punctuation that's in there, especially if you're double clicking. Sometimes it can be funny about that. You also want to make sure that there is not a space before or after the password or the username, just because that will give you an error when trying to sign in. It will say your password is incorrect. So just some things to pay attention to there. We're going to go ahead and click sign in. And if you are logging in on a new device for the first time, or you're just logging in for the first time in general, it will send a recovery code over to that personal email as well. And I'll show you where you can find where it is while within command, but we'll send an email over to that recovery email. So once you are in command on your home screen, yours can look a little bit different than mine. This is a little bit customizable. So in order to customize this, you would just click this pencil button with the customize in the top right corner. And when we click customize, it's going to allow us to choose what widgets we have showing on our home screen. So we can go ahead and add those back in if we want to see those. We can remove different things. And then we can also drag and drop them. So I can say I want my sponsored events to be right under my notepad. And maybe I want my database health to be under my tasks, or maybe I want my tasks at the bottom. We can drag and drop those, and then we can click apply, and those changes will go into effect, and you can see that they have been updated. It is important to note that the leads never contacted, recently active, birthdays, and anniversaries will always be showing on your dashboard. Those cannot be adjusted, removed, or moved around. So those four will be the same. But you can feel free to play around with the rest of that to get it updated however you'd like, figure out what works best for you. Next, we're gonna make our way across this top banner, and then we'll move our way down the side. But I'm gonna start up top. So the command button is going to be where we are right now. So this is our dashboard. It will bring you to command. Next, we have Connect, and Connect is a good learning resource for you. So you will go over here. It has a bunch of learning options. So on the home screen is going to have your learning home, which will have maybe videos you were in the middle of watching, some self-study courses, anything you have bookmarked, and some other things for you to discover in there. You can also search. So Ignite is generally what I would use as an example because a lot of market centers do use it. So if I search for Ignite, we're going to come to this one right here. And once it loads, there we go. And this has some options. So you can purchase your course materials here. You can add or remove a bookmark here. I already have this bookmarked. So you can click that and it will add the bookmark to it, or you can remove it, whichever you would like. You can copy the link, and then scrolling down, it kind of gives you an overview of the course. And then it gives you some resource videos. These are generally for facilitators and instructors for Ignite. You'll have your student manual, and then the rest are going to be the instructor materials. So it's just an example of what you'd be looking at in Connect. I'm going to go back over, and I will say under My Learning. Under My Learning, this is where you can find all of your bookmarks. So we're currently under the My Bookmarks tab. And if you scroll down, you'll find everything that you have bookmarked. You also have Continue Learning, which again is going to be maybe videos you were in the middle of and did not watch all the way through. And that'll just help you be able to find those again if maybe you forgot to bookmark them. And then under Completed Learning, that will show you the ones that you have, the videos you have already finished. That way you can find those again, especially if you're anything like me and you forget to bookmark something and then you try to find it later. That makes it very helpful for you to be able to go back and find it later. And under Browse All, you're going to have all of the topics. They're going to be broken down. So you'll have buyers, KW University courses, and this is actually where you will find your KW logos and your Market Center's DBA logo. So if you are on this page, you can find that in two different ways. We can either search or we can scroll down. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down just so you can see where I'm finding it. If we just scroll all the way down, it's actually going to be down here under Welcome New Associates and under the New Associate Essentials. We can also search, and it will bring it up to the top so that we can see it again. So I'm going to click New Associate Essentials. And then you'll see a link for logos and branding. So if we click on that, then it should load. Doesn't like me sometimes. But if I close out and reopen it, it does work for me that time. So if it's giving you that error, try closing out that tab and reopening it. It may work for you. I've run into this problem a couple times with this. So under primary logo collection is where you can find all of the Keller Williams logos. So it'll have all the primary ones that are just specific Keller Williams ones, not branded to your Market Center. And then scrolling down, you'll find Market Center logos. So if you click Get Your Market Center logo, it's going to bring you to a Google sheet where you can find it by Market Center number or Market Center name. So if you just hit Control F, you'll be able to find it. You'll be able to search. And then once you do that, you can see the preview link right here. You can click on that and it will open it up. And then you can download it and it will have a zipped file, which will have a bunch of logos for you, different colors, whether you want all white or you want the traditional red and black. Plenty of options in those files for you. So I'm going to go ahead and head back to Command just so we can keep moving along. So we're still in Connect, and we're going to go to Events on the left-hand side. It's going to be like the calendar underneath the graduation cap. And this is just going to show some events that are available to you. If your market center doesn't utilize, not all market centers do utilize this, so you may not see any events here. Every market center is a little bit different with how they advertise their events. So if you're not seeing anything here, feel free to reach out to your market center leadership to see if they have any upcoming events. You can scroll down and find your market center. It'll have only the market centers that are available to you. We have multiples to us. You can also go with KWRI events and your region events, things like that, and you'll be able to find all of those events. You can also filter by the event type, the price, event date, formatting, or the audience. So there's a bunch of different options in the events. You can also create an event if you would like. But that is pretty much that for Connect. We're going to go back over to Command just so we can start in a familiar place. And the next tab you'll see on mine is going to be Command MC. Command MC is going to be for your market center staff. So most of you probably do not have this tab on there. I'm not going to go into it today just because it is for market center leadership. But if you are market center leadership and you are on this call and you have questions about Command MC, please feel free to reach out to us. Our email is support@scottleroymarketing.com. Feel free to reach out to us. We are more than happy to help out with that as well. I'm just going to keep going over it just so that for the sake of time. So next we have the marketplace, which is going to be a little storefront here. So Command was built by agents for agents. And so they are, there we go. So they built a lot of integrations that you can use so that you can combine everything with your Command as much as possible. A great example of this would be Twilio. Twilio is a texting service, phone number service that is easy to integrate with Command. And if you go to Marketplace, you can search for Twilio. So I'm going to do there, and you would find the Twilio add-on there where you can purchase a subscription and be able to send texts through Command. So that's a great feature you can add on, but they have a bunch of different ones. You can search, it's broken down by a lot of different things. There are some discounts in here and additional products. So it's a great place to search for those integrations that maybe you want to add to your Command. They just want to make it as accessible for agents as possible. I'm going to go back to Command, and the next thing is going to be this notification bell. So if we click on that, it's going to show us all of our Command notifications, and we have it broken down unread and read. You will be able to see your read notifications for, I believe it's 90 days after you have marked it as read. You'll have 90 days to review those under the read category. You can also filter by the type of notification. So maybe we only want to see the notifications for our opportunities, and we'll be able to see those there. And let's see, I'm going to go back to all notifications. You can mark them all as read. You can mark them individually as read. And we can also manage our notification options. So if we click this settings cogwheel up in the top, then we will be taken over to those settings where we can decide what notifications we want to see. So they're going to be broken down by applet. So a lot of these are Command MC. There we go. So on that, we can see maybe we want to get notified when we are assigned to an opportunity, whether your compliance was accepted or returned, the commission was approved, returned. There's a bunch of different options that you would see those notifications for, and you can go through and decide which ones you want to see in your notifications section. I'm going to go back to the home. And I'm going to skip over this drop down menu under our name for just a second. I'm going to circle back to it in just a minute. But it's got a lot of information under there. So I'm just going to try to move through this real quick. We've got this question mark in the top right corner. When we select on that, it's going to bring in a help and information pop out. So you can have guided tours. That's going to be a more broken down of what each thing does. So you can click on that and take a guided tour of Command. Keller Williams University is going to be another resource for you for learning. It will bring you to answers.kw.com, which basically breaks down how you can do just about anything and everything in Command. So that's a great resource for you. Chat with support. So KW support does have a live chat. I believe it is Monday through Friday, I believe 8 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. You can chat with support. If they are not available, you can leave a message for support and they'll reach back out to you. But that's a great way to get in contact with Keller Williams support directly. Next, we have an option to post an idea. And this is going to take us to ideas.kw.com, which is, again, Keller Williams built Command by agents for agents. And they want agents to be able to see the features that they want or would find useful within Command. So maybe you are looking for something specific in Command, you're not finding how to do it. More than likely, you're not the only agent that would want or need that idea. So you can come to ideas.kw.com and you can find an idea. So you want to make sure you're looking for ideas before you post. So we can go to Command. Once we do that, that's going to give us a breakdown of the status on each idea. They do review every single suggestion. They may not implement them all. However, they do promise to read and consider them all. So it's a great place for you to submit those options. And if someone else has posted an idea, you can vote on that idea to show that it is important to you. So you can see this one's in the backlog. It has 173 votes on it. You can vote on it. You can say how important it is to you. And you can also leave a comment explaining why it would help you and your business. All of those things will help KWRI be able to take a closer look at that idea and work towards implementing it, because that will allow them to see that it is important for a lot of agents. So there's a lot of great ideas in here. Feel free to search through there, search for an idea that maybe you have, see if another agent has submitted it. And if not, you can submit the idea and they can get that added for you. So I'm going to go back over to Command. And before we get to this drop-down menu under our name, you'll see these stars or sparkles in the bottom right corner. So this is going to be Quick, KWIQ, which is Keller Williams AI bot. So you can search here for different questions that you may have, whether it's relating to Command or your business, and you can get an answer there. Again, it is artificial intelligence. You always want to review those for accuracy. However, it's a great resource if you just need a quick answer. You can also view your history there. And I'm going to go ahead and close that out. And now we'll go to the drop-down menu under our name. So we'll click our name and we will see a drop-down menu appear. So first we'll see which profile we are currently in. That's going to be what displays up top. If you are not on a team, you will only see your one profile. If you are on a team, you will see two different accounts appear. So your personal and your team account. We're going to stay under our personal today, but you can switch by clicking down here or up here, whichever. So then the first thing we have is our referrals profile. So the referrals profile is going to be how other agents see you when they're looking for referral partners. So this is going to be what they see about you. You can update all of this information. You can change your profile photo here. Click edit profile and you can update all of that information. So that's going to be your referrals profile. I'm going to go back over here Next, we have My Profile. And My Profile is considered your profile of record. This is going to be mostly an internal facing profile. There is a toggle in the top right corner whether you want your information displayed on kw.com or not, but that is the rest of it's going to be pretty much internally facing. So you'll have your name, your profile photo, biography, a lot of that information. You'll see your real estate license number here. If you are not seeing it here, or it is incorrect, or has, maybe the dates are incorrect on it, you would want to reach out to your market center leadership as they would need to update this on their end. But you can definitely reach out to them and they can update that for you. We want to make sure that license number is in there correctly, or else it can cause some errors with some different things. It'll also have your contact information. And on the left-hand side, if we click My KW, this is going to bring us to more internal system information. So you'll see your KW email here. You'll also find your logins here. So you can update your username and your password and your recovery email all right here. So you would just click the edit button and you can update both the username and that password recovery email. And you can click this link to reset your password. Moving down, you'll have personal information. So you'll have your phone number and then the KW communications email. This is another important email that you want to make sure you have access to, just because this is where, especially if you are exporting your contacts, this is actually where that link is going to go. We'll go into that a little bit more when we get over to our contacts applet, but this is where you can change that communications email. So you just want to make sure that this is an email that you have access to, as well as that recovery email. Just a couple things you wanted to pay attention to there. Moving down, you'll just have more of your personal information. Then on the left-hand side, you will see your affiliations. So you'll see your MLS affiliation here, and it'll have your MLS ID. If you are not seeing your MLS ID, again, you will want to reach out to your market center staff as they can get that updated on their end. That will allow your listings to filter in more easily if you have the MLS ID in there, and it will help with having listings featuring on your website and things like that. So that's something else you want to make sure is in there. If you are not seeing it in there correctly, again, your market center leadership would be able to help with that. You'll also see your market center affiliation here. We have, again, a bunch of market centers here, but you will likely only see the one that you are affiliated with. So if you click on that, you will see your role in the market center. If it says administrative staff, that generally means that your license has not been added or is missing from a field on your profile. And again, you would want to reach out to your market center staff to get that updated, just to make sure you want it to say agent if you are a licensed agent. So moving out of our profile, back to the drop-down menu, and next we'll see settings. So settings are going to be it has a bunch of different things that we want to pay attention to. So it has some of those connected apps, so DocuSign and dotloop. Most market centers use DocuSign. If your market center uses dotloop and you are not seeing it here, you may need to go through the KW Marketplace in order to connect your dotloop. DocuSign will generally stay here just because most market centers do use dotloop. Sorry about that. Most market centers do use DocuSign, not dotloop. But you can connect both of those through here, and that'll allow it to integrate with your command. Moving down, we have our Facebook and Instagram post scheduling here. So if you're doing a social campaign, you can schedule those to the account you have connected here. So you can connect more than one account. They do need to be business accounts, and your Instagram does need to be connected to your Facebook in order to get that added. You'll also see Facebook Ads Manager. It just moved, so you would just click Paid Ad Settings, and it will take you directly over to those paid ad settings for your Facebook Ad Manager. Moving down, we have Twitter post scheduling. So you can connect to your account here. We also have Google Calendar, Gmail, and Office 365. So connecting those accounts is going to allow those timelines for your contacts to be more up to date. So if you're emailing your contact through your Gmail, if you have your Gmail connected here, it will show on that contact's timeline that you emailed them. So that will just help keep your database up to date and your timeline for those contacts up to date. Office 365 is still currently being worked on. It's still in development by KW. So this is, it may cause some errors if you do that. Feel free to email us with a screenshot of the error you're seeing if you are seeing one, and we'd be happy to take a closer look at it and see if maybe that's the reason it's not working for you. Moving down, we have Twitter Ads Manager. They are not supporting Twitter ads anymore, so you would just need to do a social post through Twitter. And then we also have our email services. So this is where we can see our command email. Command email, you have 5,000 free emails per month. It will go from a email that is, it generally shows your, it'll say agent dot, and then it'll have some numbers, and then it'll say at kwmailer.com or something along those lines. So that is where it'll come from, just because it doesn't use your specific KW email to send those emails. You can manage your subscription here if you need more emails. And you can change the sender name here and the reply to email here. So those are some great things that you can change. So when someone replies, this is what email that reply will go to. You can also connect your MailChimp. And again, we talked about Twilio earlier for sending and receiving text messages through command. You can subscribe in Marketplace. This is just a direct link over to Marketplace for you. Moving down on the left-hand side, we have general settings is going to have the default account. So if you have a team account and a personal account, this will allow you to choose which one is your default account. Here's your notification settings, which we were looking at earlier. And then command settings, we have it broken down by those applets. So contacts, it's going to allow us to see our contact archive, wipe our database, contact tags, lead management, lead sources, things like that. Opportunity settings, it's going to give us those different settings for our opportunities, including our opportunity archive. Reporting, it'll have some tracking settings there. Smart plans, it'll have your time and date settings. Tasks are also going to have your time settings. And then under my logs, you'll be able to see import and export logs. In case maybe an import or an export failed, it will give you a log of all of those and show you maybe why it failed. Connect settings, we're going to have our marketing profile. So our marketing profile is our third and arguably our most important profile to make sure it's up to date. This is going to be our external facing profile. So this is going to reflect on your KW website. It's also going to reflect on any campaigns you do through command. So email campaigns, designs, things like that. That information is going to pull from here. Anything with a red asterisk is going to be required. So you want to make sure anything with a red asterisk is filled out. A photo, you want to make sure it is 360 by 360 pixels for your headshot. If it is not that size, it can appear as a broken image sometimes. It may get stretched really wonky or cut off your head, which obviously we don't ever want. So you just want to make sure it's 360 by 360 pixels. If you aren't sure how to do that or need help with that, you can feel free to email us, support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we'd be happy to help resize that for you. You can upload your team logo here. Again, recommended 360 by 360. Team logo is not a required field. We strongly recommend it just because it does appear as a broken image, especially on your email campaigns, if you don't have a team logo there. If you do not have your own logo or a team logo, you can use just a regular KW logo, or you can enter another headshot you would like. We've seen people do pretty much all of the above. So whatever you would like that may help. Again, it's not a required field. It just does help with email campaigns specifically. Moving down, we have our information. So first name, last name are required fields. Again, license number is not required, but strongly recommended. It will give you an error when trying to send an email campaign if you don't have something in this field. So you just want to make sure you have your license number here. And then the rest of these are not required fields. They'll just reflect on your website however you have them here. We have our military affiliations. So if you are in active duty, reserves, veteran, military spouse, Gold Star family, military family, National Guard, or if you're a supporter or patriot, you can put any of those on your profile so that people can see that on your profile. You can enter your biography here. It is a required field. Phone numbers, again, both required as well. Email is required. And it is important to note when putting your website, you want to make sure you put your full URL here, including the HTTPS. It's also important to note with KW websites that they do not utilize www dot at the beginning of them. So you don't want to enter that in, or else it will cause the page to generally not load for someone. So you just want to make sure you're leaving out a www dot at the beginning of it, and you're including the HTTPS at the beginning. Moving down, we have our brokerage market center information here. So name, phone number, address, things like that. Again, required fields for those. And then compliance. So if you are in an area that has more strict compliance requirements or just anything different that may need to be updated, you can enter that here. Legal footer. So you can enter just text here, or if you have links, like some places require IABS, so you can have those entered in here. Moving down, we have our social links. So this is going to be on our website. They'll be able to click a link and be directed to our social media. Again, with those, you do also want to make sure that is the full link. You don't want to just enter your username or handle in the social media, because that will not allow the link to work. So you just want to make sure you have that full link in there for your profile, and you can enter your Google Analytics ID here. Once you're done, you'll just want to make sure you click save so that all of those changes go into effect. Under global settings, we have our languages and our contact settings here. And then Command MC, you'll see Command MC settings generally, even if you do not have access to Command MC. But you generally won't need to utilize any of those settings there. So I'm going to go back to my home. And last thing under the drop-down menu under our name is going to be command training. That's just going to be another learning resource for you that you can access. So that's just going to take you to KW Connect for more of the tech information. And now we are going to go through more of command. So we're going to move down the applets on the left-hand side. So each of these is a separate applet. If you're not sure what each of these logos means, you can hover over them and it will give you a brief pop out. You can also click this red square with the white KW, and it's going to expand that whole menu so that you can see what each category is. So the first one we're going to look at is going to be our contacts. And there's a couple of things we want to cover when it comes to contacts. So we're going to see all of the contacts we have here. So we can import more contacts here. There is a template that you can utilize. We highly recommend using the template. Otherwise, it can cause some issues with routing different columns into the correct fields. So you just want to make sure that you are using that template. This is something that we are happy to help with here at Scott Leroy Marketing. If you want to send us your CSV or Excel file, you can send that over to us and we can get it reformatted for you. We can even help import it into Command. So just one of the great ways that we're happy to help out, just because this can get a little finicky. So you can feel free to send that over to us, or you can try to do it on your own with this template and upload it here. We can also add a contact specifically. So individual contacts, we would just enter the names. So we'll just say We can add a relationship to that person. We can add a primary email. We can change whether it's personal, work, or other. We can enter that phone number. We can also select a lead source type. So we can select from a list or select from contacts. So if we got that lead from another agent or from one of these sites, there's plenty of different ways we can add in lead sources. If we got it from a specific contact, it'll allow us to select what contact we received that from. We can mark them as a lead or not. That is up to you. And tags. You can add a ton of tags. You can add as many as you'd like. So you can enter those in here. You can create new tags. A tag is just going to be anything that you want it to be. So if maybe you have, however you want to categorize your contacts. So maybe you have contacts that were all at a certain event that you hosted. You can tag them all with that event, or by their neighborhood. Anything that you want to use as a tag, you can use it as a tag, and then you can sort by that. We also have additional contact information, so we can enter additional emails and phone numbers. We can enter their mailing address here. We can enter social profiles here. Under About, we will find even more information that we can add. So legal name, description, birthday, home anniversary, relationship. There's a bunch of different fields that we can fill out. And then under Custom, this allows you to enter in whatever is important for you and your business to know. So there's a couple of them. So area of interest, favorite sports team, kids' names, price point. We can create our own custom field, or we can select one from our list. So maybe we want favorite candy. Maybe we want to put that in here just so that we maybe have an idea of what to give our clients. So favorite candy, anything along those lines, you can enter in here. And then we're going to click create. So keep in mind, it is not always more. Enter in whatever information works best for you and your business. More information does not always equal better, but whatever works for you and your business and how you work with your clients is what you would want to enter in there. So once we create that contact, it's going to bring us directly over to our contacts, to the contact we just created. We can edit it here. We can click these three dots here, add them to a smart plan, change the account it's in, or archive them. So we can do all of that through here. We can add neighborhoods to the contact. We're also going to see that timeline here. So this is going to show any of the contacts we've had with our clients. So if we've emailed them through command, it will show here. If they created an account on our personal agent website, it's going to show up here. So any of those little interactions are going to show on this timeline. Opportunities is going to give you any opportunities that are associated with that contact. Smart plans, it will show you what smart plans that contact is on, and tasks and notes and saved searches. Those are, again, all going to be what are tied to those contacts. So I'm going to go back over to my contacts. If we click the three dots beside add contacts in the top right corner, this is where we can check for duplicates and we can export those contacts. So when you export your contacts, they did recently update it. So if you click export all owned contacts, it is going to send an email to your communications email, which we talked about in my profile where you can find that earlier. So it's going to send a link there. You'll have 24 hours to download your contacts from that link. Once you select that link, it's going to automatically download it to your computer for you. We also have the option to customize our columns, so we can choose what columns are showing and what order they're showing in. When we do that, we can save it as a smart view. So a smart view is going to be anything other than what the default is in general for contacts. So maybe Currently, we have it filtered by tag class demo here. That is our smart view. So we're only seeing contacts with the tag class demo. And then we saved it as a smart view so that anytime we open our contacts, we can choose to have that display how we had it. So if maybe you move your columns around, you change how they're sorted, you would just want to, you can save that as a smart view, and then you can view it again easily. You can also change the layout, so you can change between the list and contact cards. And then you can also choose how many contacts you show at a time. If you are searching, you can search by first name, last name, email, address, or just of everything that is in there. And then there's filters. Filters are great. There's a lot of different filters that you can apply to contacts. That's one thing I would say Command is really great at, is it has a lot of filters for pretty much everything. So we can filter whether they're contacts or leads. We can filter by tags. Again, you can see it's currently filtered by class demo. Lead source, you can filter by that. Agent site connection, neighborhoods, recently active. Again, there's just a bunch of different ways that we can filter those contacts. And then there's even more options under advanced. So we have a bunch of options there. It's great for you to be able to find specific contacts and group them in specific ways. We can also select multiple contacts at a time. We'll just undo those. So we have 6 out of the 8 selected, and we'll see a hidden bulk action menu appear. So if we do that, it's going to give us even more options. So we can add an activity to all of those contacts at once, add tags to all of them, remove tags, send an email, send a text message if we have Twilio connected. Again, there's just a lot of different things we can do through there. So next we have tasks, and this is kind of going to be a to-do list for you that you can create in Command. So you can have it created based off of a smart plan that can automatically create tasks for you. And that'll allow you to see that. You can see it on your homepage, all the tasks that are due that day. So maybe you have it that you want to call a specific client. You can put it in there, and then you can just mark it as complete once you've done it. So you can do that, and it will move it over to your completed tasks. So there's a bunch of different things we can do with tasks. We can filter. Again, we have a lot more filter options. So past due, due today, due in the next 7 days, due later, or no due date. We also have more options for filtering there. We have those due dates in there, whether it's a repeating task, priority level. Again, we can have it whether it's created by us specifically, whether it was created through an opportunity or by a smart plan. So a lot of different ways we can break that down. We can also create a new task, and we can select the 3 dots by it, edit them, reschedule it, add a note. A lot of different things we can do there. Next, we have smart plans, and smart plans are going to be your kind of set it and forget it type plan. So smart plans are going to allow you to have emails sent out automatically, allow you to have those tasks created so that you remember to call someone. Just set it and forget it, allow you to keep in touch with your database, have it automated, and you can create a custom one. There's plenty of options here. So under My Smart Plans are going to be ones you've created or have added to your library. You can click the menu beside it, and you'll see the steps and what each step is. You can see how many contacts are on that smart plan, when it was created, how long it is, and how many total touches there are. You can add a contact to the smart plan directly here, edit it here, copy it, publish it to the library, or delete it there. If you go to the library, that's going to be all of the public smart plans that people have posted or added to the library. Keller Williams has 10 different smart plans that you can use. So they have some neighborhood nurtures, things like that. They also have a birthday and a home anniversary one. So we do always recommend that if you are looking for a birthday or home anniversary smart plan where it will actually send to the contact on their birthday or home anniversary, we highly recommend just use the Keller Williams ones. They are programmed to work specifically with the contacts, and a lot of the other ones don't work quite as well as those. And you may send a happy birthday email to everyone on the same day instead of on their actual birthday. So we highly recommend using the Keller Williams ones for that, just because they do tend to actually send on those dates instead of all at once. If you want to search, you can search by the smart plan name or the author name. If we search for our name, you'll see a bunch of different ones that we've published through here. So we have monthly smart plans that'll send out a newsletter, updating your contacts. There's a bunch of different smart plans in there, so feel free to look around. You can view the steps on those smart plans. You can add that smart plan to your library. There's a bunch of different smart plans that you can utilize for you. You can also find other ones that others have created, again, also in that library. Next, we'll move to our referrals applet. I do want to say, I know I'm moving really fast through these. We do have classes on pretty much all of these that go more in depth, and you can find those on our YouTube channel. So I know I'm flying through this, but just keep in mind we do have classes for each of those. So on our referrals, we have our dashboard, which is going to show our referral network. It's kind of going to give us a quick view of what we have going on with referrals, pending, sent, received. If we go to my referrals, again, we'll see sent and received. And then the map. So the referrals map is pretty cool, in my opinion. It will show you different agents in different areas. So if we just zoom in enough, let's go here and hope it'll load. Wants to be slow for me today. There we go, it's starting to do it. But it'll populate the agents that you have there, and they will be listed by production. So there we go, starting to load. But you can see those agents listed by production on the right-hand side. We can also change how the agents are listed. So currently it's going to show by production in the past 12 months. But if we click on this drop-down menu, we can also filter by market centers. So if maybe you're a newer agent and you're not seeing yourself on that list, you can click market centers here, and it will show the agents that are in that market center here, not by production. So all of the agents will be there. You can sort it by name, closed units, listings sold, buy sides, leases. So there's a bunch of different options for you to filter that. We can also see my network, which will show all the agents we have in our network and where they are. And then we also have the referrals patterns. So the referrals patterns is going to show where people are moving from and where they are moving to based off the location you enter in this search bar here. So currently we have showing where they're moving to from Austin, Texas. So it's going to be broken down by the percent of referrals on the right-hand side. So you can see maybe where you want to find some of those referral agents that you can have in your network. You can also click this arrow right next to it to change it to received, and you'll see how people are moving to Austin, Texas. And again, it's going to be broken down percentage-wise, the most from each area. You can change that search bar up there. We'll say Orlando, and it'll give us the same thing. We can switch between sent and received. And it'll give us a good breakdown of where people are moving from and to. So next we have the opportunities applet. So the opportunities are going to be where you keep track of each transaction. So it will be where you upload your documents for compliance and things like that. So when you click opportunities, it's going to bring you to this page that shows you all of your pipelines. So you'll see your listings, buyers, and leases. And you'll see how many agents how many opportunities you have in each phase of that pipeline. So we currently have one in the active phase. And the close, we don't have any. Keep in mind that this number will reset every month once your market center has done their month-end close or transmittal. That number will reset back to 0 since this is for the month the closed ones are. So if you see this number go from however many closings you had in a month to 0, don't worry, you can still find those in the All Opportunities tab. They are not lost. It's just resetting so that you can kind of get a better idea of what is actively going on for you. So then next we have campaigns. And campaigns are going to be how we send emails, paid ads, direct mail, and social post campaigns through command. So we can go over to I'll show you the emails tab. Again, we can create a campaign here, but it's going to tell us how many recipients we've had in the last 30 days, how many have been sent, how many opens, clicks, things like that. And you'll be able to see all of your drafts, whether it's been sent, mailed out already or canceled. And you can see it broken down. Again, you'll see those numbers here on the sent, open, and clicks. You can also sort by whether they're mailed, scheduled, archived, or a draft. And it'll give you options to create those campaigns. Moving down, we have reports. And the reports is going to kind of give us an idea of what everything is looking like. So the first one is going to be our database overview. So it's going to show us the database health. So we have 67.07% health on our database, which is pretty good. But it'll show us how it gets that number. So the percentage of the database with a phone number, an email address, an address, a neighborhood, and then home anniversary and birthdays. So it'll give you an idea of maybe where you need to add some more information if you want to add those home anniversaries and birthdays. You can also see your database activity score, which is going to show how many people you've reached out to in the last however many days. So it'll go up to 91 days or more. And you can kind of see maybe how many people you need to reach out to. So obviously we have very few people reached out to in the 0 to 30 days. And so you can just kind of see how it's broken down. You'd want there to be more green than red, obviously. And then you can see your contacts, your leads, and things like that. We also have reports, which we can see our opportunities report, goals report, database report, and it's kind of break those down for us based off the income, probable income, commissions. We also have goals that we can set, so we can create goals. We can create our annual goals in here. You would just click goal settings and it'll walk you through it. We also have our lead routing if you're on a team, emails, and text and calls. So you can see more information on the delivery and engagement on each of those as well. So next we have designs. And designs is going to be where we can create a lot of those email campaigns. We can create our social posts. So you can click create design and you can create it specific to your listing because you can link your KWLS to it so that you can pull those listing pictures and create email, social, print, or a video design. So those you can do, and then you can add those to your email campaigns, social post campaigns, or you can save them to your computer. Under listings, you are going to see your listings that you have synced here. You can sync your MLS through here, and then you'll have your Market Center exclusive listings. So if you want it only for your Market Center, you can add it in here. You can create a new listing through here. And then we also have websites. So under websites, this is going to be how we access our KW website. You'll see your link right here. Again, notice that it does not have www dot at the beginning of it. It is just the HTTPS. So you can copy and paste that link if you want to share it with someone. If you click edit agent site, it's going to bring us to here where we can do a little bit of customization. So we can add some content. We can add a blog post. It'll also bring us a design studio where we can change the themes on our website. So we have a couple of options. So we have classic, modern. Under modern, there's some more color options. We can also go to expert mode. which an expert mode is going to give us a lot more information that we can change, more things we can edit within our website. So you can go edit every individual page, creating custom pages. There's a lot of different things you can mess around with your websites. You can view it in browser or publish it from there. If I close that out, and then if I change over to settings over here, this is where we can also do some more of those back-end settings. So we can, again, edit our website. This is going to take us to that expert mode that we were just on. We can update our subdomain here. So if we want to change that URL, we can change it through here. And this is where we can find our app URL. So if you copy this, you can share that link, and that will allow people to download your app branded to you and create an account through there. If you are on a team, you'll see your referral link through here. Preferences, if you want to display Keller Home Loans, Keller Covered, or neighborhoods on your agent's site, you can edit those settings here. And then we have forced registration. So forced registration is going to allow us to control how many people, how many properties people are able to view on your site before they are required to register or sign in. So you can say they can view as many properties as they'd like on your site before they're asked to register. In other words, they won't be asked to register while looking at properties. You can have them view, they can view up to 10 properties, 2 properties, or no properties at all. And then you would just click Save Changes. You can also deactivate your site here. We highly recommend you don't deactivate your site just because all of the things that you have done on your site will be lost. So you just want to make sure that you are extra sure if you click deactivate site that you do want to do that. That's all I've got for today. So I am going to go ahead and stop this recording so we can go over some questions. If you are not sticking around for questions, thank you for joining me. I hope it was very helpful for you, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your